Hello, fellow Aptera reservation holders, and those of you who are just Aptera curious. If you choose to make a reservation, please consider using my link below to save $30 on your reservation. In this video, I'm going to recap the third week of Aptera's Accelerator Program. Did Aptera announcing bonus gift tiers for investors boost the program's performance? Is Aptera on track to raise $20 million or get 2,000 investors? For those who are not familiar with what the Accelerator Program is, you have to invest a minimum of $10,000 between January 27th and March 26th. They're hoping to get 2,000 investors to raise at least $20 million to help them reach the $50 million goal they claim will allow them to start large-scale production. If you join the program, you will be one of the first 2,000 to receive your vehicle and get some special gifts based on your total investment in Aptera. When visiting Aptera's leaderboard page, you will notice that they have added some more metrics to the page. On the left is the data that was shown for the first 2 weeks, and it only provided you with approximately how much was raised and the total number of investors. The image on the right is what the page currently looks like. It still shows you an approximation of how much was raised, and now they tell you the total number of investors versus the 2,000 that they will be accepting into the program. With 319 total investors, they have gained about 16% of the investors hoped for. The two new graphics they have added break out new investors versus prior investors. Until told otherwise, I will say that they took inspiration from my videos. One of the metrics that I was pulling out was the difference between new investors and prior investors. You'll also see that they use the same colors I used for my pie charts. With a total of 319 investors at the time of recording this video, you can see that 94 or 27% of the investors are new, while 255 or 73% have previously invested in Aptera. You will notice that this is an increased percentage of new investors versus week 2. The mix was very strong in week 1 with 30% new versus 70% prior investors. You would expect week 1 to be strong with prior investors because they had been following Aptera and would have probably gotten direct mailing about the Accelerator Program. Week 2 saw a significant shift to prior investors as they made up about 78% of all the investors at that time. Now week 3 has kind of brought in a bunch of new investors. It would be great if this trend continues, as this program will obviously be more likely to succeed if it brings in a strong number of new investors. New investors are also great because it seems that they are investing more per person than prior investors. As you can see here, new investors have invested $1.28 million or 31% of the money raised by the Accelerator Program, even though they only made up 27% of the total number of investors. This makes sense as prior investors will get ranked based on their total historical investment in Aptera, so they will get a big boost in the ranking by adding the minimum required. This is clearly illustrated in the leaderboards, as the number 1 spot is held by RP from Maryland, who has invested $10,500 in the Accelerator Program, but has a total investment of over $1 million. Then you have the anomaly of BJ in 7th place, who has made the largest single investment of $126,000 in the Accelerator Program, who had previously invested a little over $10,000. But even though the number of investors per week is going down, the average invested per person is going up. The first week was just under $12,000 per person. The second week jumped to over $14,700. Now the third week is over $15,000. It will be interesting to see if this trend continues as people try to get a better position on the leaderboards. As expected, the number of investors per day saw a sharp decline in the first week. Hopefully it has stabilized at around 9 people per day. I think it will stay around this level for the next few weeks, and hopefully we will see another spike in the last 2 weeks as people join and try to climb the leaderboards. The amount of money raised each day has tracked pretty closely to the number of people investing each day, but the 9th does stand out, as this is the day that BJ invested $126,000, making it the 4th highest day of investment. This was a strong way to close out the end of week 2. So where is Aptera now? Well, they have only raised about 20% of their goal, and they still need to raise about $16,650,000. The strong first week generated $2.2 million, or about 11% of their goal. The second week, which ended with a huge investment, went from 4% last week to 5%, or just over $1 million raised. The third week right now raised a bit over 737,000 or another 4%. Hopefully, as they add more certified investors for week 3, we will also see a significant bump. Before they added the numbers to the end of week 2, it looked like the growth rate of investments was hitting a plateau, but it seems that they are still getting a good number of investments coming in. Currently, it does not look like they will get to 20 million on the accelerator program, but I think they will break 10 million. I believe this will help give them access to some of the money in the California grant. Together, this should allow Aptera to build some production intent vehicles and validate them. This seems validated by the news that Aptera is cutting the dies CPC needs to make body parts. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, like and share to help our channel grow. And below you'll find links to our website, Evolv-Electric.org, our Twitter and Instagram